Hey everybody, welcome to a Memorial Day weekend cup of Ray. Down here at the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill out here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the edge. Just screwed it up that time. So looking through all my old notes, I thought I had a copy of the 2022 schedule all done out, but so I've been messing with this shot for like 45 minutes, actually longer. I got a special guest coming in here in just a few minutes. He's got to get to his deal. We're going to talk a little bit about everything, but I just love looking at my old notes. I'll just read you guys going back what happened. Let's see here, talking about back when Buccaneers first signed Russell Gage this offseason. Right, I got the notes here. Russell Gage was 4 years old when Tom Brady was selected 199th in the 2000 draft. When he was introduced on Friday, he revealed he got a call from Tom Brady on Monday night. Pretty good story there, right? Remember that stuff. Of course, Rob Gronkowski working out now. I'm going to get caught here this entire show, so I got to put this up, make sure I'm not muted, and I'm not. So again, thanks for joining me out here. Memorial Day weekend. What does Memorial Day mean to you? What does it mean to us? Real quick little history on Memorial Day before I try to find my schedule. Also talking about Levante David. That cat's about to get paid, and said it when he came out of LSU when he went Bucs draft, and before anyone drafts him, he says, "I'm already working on my second contract and getting in shape, dropping a little pounds, a little less the Happy Meals, a little bit less Chick-fil-A's." He says as he's getting ready for this next run. What a great thing that the Buccaneers win the championship in 2020, Super Bowl 55. And then last year, of course, the helmet to the chin, the hockey league, Sean Jerk, Bucs, Rams go home, second team now in the NFL history to win a home Super Bowl. Of course, the Buccaneers will always be the first, but the Bucs did not fall that far from grace. There wasn't a Super Bowl hangover. And of course, Tom retired, then unretires. He's back for the 2022 season. Bucs are going to make a run at it. Devin White's talking about he's coming back in shape. What a great thing to have a coach like Todd Bowles taking over this team. I've loved it. Loved Todd Bowles when he was the DC under Arians out in Arizona. Loved Todd Bowles from his days just working on the Eagles. Loved Todd Bowles from the moment he got here with this Buccaneers defense and how fast that Mike Smith of a dumpster fire of a defense was able to transition as the Buccaneers 2 years later go to that Super Bowl championship. And, Tom Brady might be its 23rd year in the NFL, his third season as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback. But you know something? He's going to ride off into that sunset at some point in the next 5 years or half decade or so. And I did not mean to start that. A little bit of fun here at the top. So I want to know what y'all, seriously, I got two comments in here before I get going with my open showrunner. What are your thoughts about Memorial Day? Alex Schomburg says, send me the link, Ray. Alec, I thought I will send it to you. Let's see here. William Justice says, I just saw that you were on. Did Sue get contract done? No, I have not heard that yet. William, I'll let you know in a second here. Lisa Marlowe said, no, that I'm on. Hey, I get you, Lisa. I'm going to go ahead and send that. And, what are your thoughts on Memorial Day weekend? What does Memorial Day mean to you? 1869, again, it's kind of a solemn celebration of all the lives, the history. You want to know what Memorial Day means to me? Memorial Day is a landing boat heading toward the beach at Normandy on D-Day, on Invasion Day, and full of 18-year-old young men of all branches of service, and they're hitting Omaha. They're hitting the beach there, and they know the score. They know what's going on. This is the very first wave to go in and rock the beach at Normandy. 18-year-olds, how many of them were virgins? How many of them were just starting out their life, serving their country? So, and I'm not going to try to make some argument that says, well, that's the reason Memorial Day is the first day. No, it is the first day of summer. We're starting to feel it everywhere. I know we're feeling it here in Florida. Let me get that comment off the screen. Sorry about that. Lisa Marlowe says no. But that's what it means to me. And I want to know what you guys and girls think about what Memorial Day means. And if you're not catching this show live, you're catching it later, please hit the share button because I'm dropping this for today and tomorrow. This is kind of like my weekend cup of Ray. And any other comments y'all got, bring it in here live on a little show. Again, I'm down here at the world famous Ferg. Couldn't get in here. Yankees are just across. Yankees are 150 yards south of me there at Tropicana Field. Yankees versus the Rays in Game 3 of that 4-game series. The Yankees currently have a one-run lead in the fourth inning. The Rays are up to bat. Place was just packed with Yankees fans and Rays fans. People having a good time. You'll still see people walking the sidewalk in front of me here, and couldn't even get in here. I had to bring the show a little bit later, but I was taking it all and came down and I was doing the whole people watching thing, sitting out on a sidewalk under the shade tree, talking to this homeless guy who's over there, and I'm like, "Do you know the history of benches in St. Petersburg?" And he didn't know, and I said, explained to him how here on Central Avenue, from the 40s and 50s. Used to be benches, green benches all the way downtown on both sides of the roads, and all the St. Petersburg and the greater Bay Area residents would come down here and sit on the benches, shoot on the benches, and talk to their neighbors, read the paper, just catch up on everything. That was their social network. This is our social network. So what are your thoughts, and guys and girls? Anything Buccaneers, anything baseball, anything Memorial Day. It's a Cup of Ray live on a Saturday, Memorial Day weekend down here from the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill out here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg. We'll be right back on the other side. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to A Cup of Ray, Memorial Day 2022 from down here at the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Happy Saturday. Hope you found your beach. If you haven't, keep looking for it. Do me a favor at some point. 107.3 The Bone down here in Tampa Bay is having a four-block weekend. They're playing four blocks of four of your favorite groups. And I was sitting on the way down here, and right when I got in a car, Ozzy Osbourne block came on. And coming down Central Avenue, just do me a favor at some point, whatever your drug of choice is, whatever you're doing to get to that lighter spirit, maybe it's just the love of whatever, maybe it's just your high on life, but get there, get to that happy place and listen to this entire long track version of Ozzy Osbourne and No More Tears. Just no more tears, and listen to the rock. So let me go ahead and bring my special guest in here, because I haven't had this cat on Cup of Ray in literally forever. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in right now, because I didn't get to do a sound or an audio or a picture check, and he's going to be doing his live on air with me. Joining me from 1252 Sports, from Harry the Greek, the over-under, my neighbor and your friend, number one in your program, number one in your heart, Mr. Harry the Greek. Harry, how are you today?
What's up, Ray? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Brother, thanks for coming on. Hey, I had it cheap right for this shot. Is it too distracting that I'm totally stage left, but I wanted to give that sidewalk view, or does it look all right?
Actually, I really like it, because you can see the sidewalk, especially being on the edge of the district of St. Pete right there. You got the people passing by. You know, you can see your laptop. They see how hard you're working from there. You got the camera in the background. Ray shaking his ass out there. Everything's looking great. And you're at the legendary Sports Bar and Grill right down there. And don't forget, hey, listen, off the record, I want 10 mild well done, please.
If you could talk, Coach was out here. Coach Mark, everybody knows Coach Mark Ferguson down here, a legend and icon down here. Pinellas educator. Talking about education, Harry, terrible thing there, what happened in Uvalde, Texas this week, wasn't it?
God, that's just so sad. But you know what? I'm not trying to get political on this, but man, it seems like the right's blaming the left. The left is blaming Trump. I mean, it's just, leave it alone. There are 20 people dead. There's like 18 or 19 kids. Yes. Kids, ladies and gentlemen. They're children that are dead. But you know what? You know what the bottom line is? This shame on the police department for, they were to protect and serve, to sit out there going, hey, I ain't going in there. Hey, you want to go in there? Oh, hell no, I don't want to go in there. What kind of yeehaw bull crap is that?
It just goes to show you in this day and age, even if it's the last day of school or it's a holiday weekend or if it's the Super Bowl's on TV and you're sure that 99.9% of your citizens are around the boob tube watching the big game. Of course, the Bucs will be out there in 57 for Super Bowl in Arizona this season. Got to throw that in there. But you never can take it lightly, because even a change in shifts. I know us with my city, my government I work for, our police officers have a 4-hour shift changeover period. They leave nothing unturned, no stone unturned. Everything gets handed off. Everyone's brought up to speed on everything. We've got that every 8-hour shift at the 4 hours at the end of every 8-hour shift. We have influx, if you will, as the other, and then the next crew gets off. You just wonder how that happened. An hour, you're paid to protect and serve. You're right. We're not going to get too political on that, but terrible news on what happened out there. Our thoughts and prayers. or with the families, friends, everyone affected out there in Texas. And aren't we all affected by it somehow? But do me a favor, Harry. Let's jump into baseball.
Love it.
A bird tells me you're having a pretty good year there with the round ball there and laying some odds. What's going on with you now?
Just read it. There it is. 59 and 26. 59 and 26. Out of the 59 wins, 53 of them have been underdogs, Ray.
Yes, I know. You told me. And, give me the one you gave us last week. And, of course, the Yankees are across the street. They got a lead. They won the first 2 games in this 4-game Memorial Day weekend series against the Rays. They're up 1-0, I believe, now going into the 5th. You had last weekend they were playing against the White Sox. Tell everyone out here on Bucs Report and they can go back and watch your show. Go back and watch you. You put this on the air. You said bet what last weekend?
Last weekend, the Chicago White Sox were taking on the New York Yankees. Actually, the Yankees were taking on the White Sox in New York. So far, the Yankees have absolutely owned them this year. I mean, they're just really playing lights out. And I started looking at some certain matchups, and there was a couple of things that I personally thought was a deep pick, and the White Sox were playing a doubleheader. Not one. I picked the White Sox in a doubleheader to win. First off, the Yankees haven't lost back-to-back games until they ran into the White Sox this past weekend. Boom. And it was only the second series that they lost. That was a really deep pick. And if you had money on them, if you've been following the show, you got plus 250 and plus 280. Those aren't small underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. Those are huge underdogs.
Plus 250. Mm-hmm. If I would have laid, let's just say out there last weekend, if I would have followed your advice and said, you know what, I'm going to put 50 down on the. I like the White Sox. They had the trouble there early in the series with the Yankee versus the White Sox player, and he called him what? He called him Jackie because he made a reference to with some of the things he's going through in today's MLB. He kind of compared himself to maybe like a modern day Jackie Robinson. It wasn't so much of what Jackie Robinson meant to the race barrier in baseball, but more of like how he was an icon and some of the things. I still don't like the comparison. It's like saying I'm the GOAT. You're not the GOAT. You're not close to being a GOAT. You just say it to say it. Don't compare yourself. So there was a little something there. But the White Sox paint the picture again. They're playing that doubleheader last weekend in Yankee Stadium. If I'd have put 50 on them for the win the 2, what could I have walked away with that day?
To win the 2, I know the $100 you see on a 2-team parlay, you're only supposed to get 2.5 to 1 if the line is minus 110. And I can go back and educate people on what that means.
Right.
When you're plus 250 and then 270. You're going to get like 5, maybe even 6 to 1 on your money just in a 2-team parlay.
Right.
Which is really, really, really cool. So that parlay on $50, you probably would have got back like $350.
Nice. And that's just for a little bit of Saturday afternoon, getting a little bit of that taste. And that's why you always say, keep your
bets low and keep your bets low and your returns high. That's what's important about wagering. And always, please make sure you're betting responsibly.
And make sure you're sharing the show because I see there's only one person watching, and I hope they've got their pants on. I hope it's not one of those situations. I got another comment in here. Of course, who would take their pants off for me, Harry? Ben Parrish says, "What's up, Ray? Good afternoon, LFG Bucs." I love Ben Parrish. Always brings out the you remember Ben? He always brings out the adrenaline and
What's up, Ben? How you doing?
So, let's talk again. Let's talk about, do me something. You got Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers on Wednesday in the match, whatever it is now, match 3.8 or match 3.0. Of course, the first year was 2 years ago when you had Tom teaming up with Phil Mickelson versus Tiger Woods and then Peyton Manning. Last year, you had Tom versus Aaron Rodgers with Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson, and Tom got his butt handed to him. Of course, Phil's overseas now in the league, whatever they're doing over there in Saudi Arabia now. But Wednesday, you got Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. It's a Wednesday. It's weird for that, but are you going to look into that, tape it, maybe go back and try to watch some of it, or is it one of those things where you're just like, eh?
Honestly, Ray, I'd rather watch grass grow. I've never been a big golf. I've never really been a big golf fan, to be honest with you.
Right.
I can I like to play golf. I really am pretty bad at playing golf. I was very athletic and excelled in 3 different sports, but golf,
yeah.
And that was not one of my games, man. I mean, I like the way Robin Williams said it. You're trying to put this little round ball in this little hole, and it's miles away.
And then what was it? The comedian that said you hit a ball as hard as you can in one direction. Then you walk after it, you catch up, you find it, and then you do it, and you hit it again. And then the same, I think it might have been George Carlin. Have you watched any of that George Carlin series?
Oh,
it's
my
on
God.
HBO?
I haven't watched it yet, but my favorite part was when Robin Williams called it, and they call it a stroke. Because every time you hit the effing ball, you want to have a stroke.
Now I'm playing in a golf tournament on June 11th up at East Bay. I got a team. I got a team of Teamsters. Actually, three of my brothers from UPS. One of them's are super, and the other two guys I work on a sort all week. And you know, the thing I'm really looking forward to, because I've made this comparison, Harry. You know, you and I have sat out front and had many a beer, and I've told you I made that working at UPS and that team effort on, every night in the shit every night. And I can say that with this TV, this has got an MA anyway, and it's not safe for work, but want a 3-day weekend. So hopefully you're enjoying this cup of Ray, not at work, and you don't get in trouble for me dropping the S-bomb. But we all, every night, it's a team effort, because there's two things. One is it's going to go to hell, and it's all got to get packed and on the road. So and I'm kind of interested to see on June 11th. Now, as far as my golf game, I'm the kind of guy that if I can drive something within 100 yards and get it anywhere within a pitchable putt to the hole, I'm celebrating like I just won the Masters tournament. So
yeah, I could see that. I wish I had the video camera. I could see you getting on the green on two, and you'd be like, "Yeah, baby, you're going to be doing the Pat Searcy dance."
That's how I used to. All my people I used to bowl with. I would take it, throw the ball, swing it out all up to the 5 board. Turn completely back over, come across 42 boards, smoking in the pocket. I would turn towards the people after I threw the ball. I would turn as the ball was getting ready to hit, and I would go, boom! And you know what sucked? When that solid 10 pin would just go.
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. My favorite one, because I'm on the left side. We never really bowl with the right side of our mind. Get it? But anyway, from the left side, I'd release the ball. I know I had a good shot. I'll turn around, and then I would just snap my fingers or stomp my feet at the same time. Bam! And just give it a little one. Yeah. You get a good shot.
It was called a boomka. A boomka. B-U-M-P-K-A. Boomka. Because, man, when you hit that pocket just right and them 10 pins just bounce into the pit, it sounds like a boomka. I know I can go there with you, because we talked about let's talk a little bit about our bowling, Harry. There's only a couple people. I don't got any comments going. Oh, well, I do got a comment in here.
You have comments. You have like 5 of them, right?
Do me a favor, Harry. I'm gonna share this show with my boy Alex so he can jump in here. I'm gonna go one screen with you. Just give us a 90-second Harry the Greek tutorial on how to make a few nibbles on, and don't nibble on USFL football. I'm not even gonna go there, but on baseball, give us a little 90-second tutorial, and I'm gonna invite the show. Go ahead, my brother.
Absolutely. Little tutorial on gambling. If you ever want to wager, whether it's football or baseball, or even primarily baseball, because it is baseball season. Did I say baseball enough?
You said baseball.
I'm sure Johnny Dean's loving this show. Baseball, Johnny. Baseball.
Now I get it.
But anyway, in baseball, no, if you want to bet baseball, don't get yourself caught up in trying to get too enamored with the sexy pick, I call it. Like the New York Yankees with Garrett Cole, and they're playing they're playing the Kansas City Royals, and to win 100, you have to lay 3.5 on your money.
Right.
Always look for an underdog at home to play. If you cannot play the underdog at home, stay away from the game.
How many of your 59 wins were underdog bets again, Harry? Share that again.
53. There have been 53, and if we break it down even further, there were most of them where I was getting almost 2-1 on my money. Let me put it to you this way. You got Garrett Cole on the mound. He's playing Kansas City. They're on the road, and they win the game. New York does. But to win that $100, you have to give the book $300 to win the 100. Yes, you get your 300 back, but you only profit 100. And that's what people call sure wins. But there's no such thing as a sure win. So the Yankees go on a big win streak. They win 5 games in a row, or even 6 games in a row.
Right.
Okay. And you bet $100 each time. Okay. You cash for $500. You got $500 back. Now you're playing them again because you got Garrett Cole back on the mound, and they're playing somebody else, and you got to lay $350 to win your 100. If they lose that game, all that money you won on those 5 games, you just basically giving it back to them
all at one shot. You're right. And that's the way. And how many times do we see people do that? Where, God bless them. They're getting, they call it a little win streak, and they're feeling it good. And now they realize, and that's the way the odds are going to go boom, and make you have to stretch it further to try to hit the same wins you've been getting. And then, it moves that way because that's the way the money's moving. It's being bet on, my brother.
Always want to go for home underdogs. If you can't bet a home, listen, I don't always bet home underdogs. Okay.
Right.
Sometimes I bet road underdogs when I think that they have a chance. For instance, earlier in the week, the Texas Rangers were out over at the Anaheim Angels.
Right.
Anaheim had a really good pitcher on the mound. Texas was a 2.5-1 underdog. I see that they've been playing well. Anaheim is going to rest a couple of players. You really got to kind of do your homework. And I was like,
Wait, did you
what?
just say a Hyman's going to rest a couple of players?
Anaheim is
Oh,
going
okay.
to
I'm sorry.
rest a
Oh,
couple.
Anaheim, the Angels. I'm sorry.
The Angels are going to rest a couple of players. And, it was a really solid pick, and they ended up winning the game by 5 runs. Okay. So
Right.
that's the really good thing. Listen,
Yeah.
you don't win every day. Okay.
You know what? Hey, hold on a second, Harry. Let me bring this guy in here too, because he's been known to wager mostly on the St. Louis Cardinals. Go ahead and welcome in here, Alex Schomburg here. Go ahead and finish. I apologize.
So what I was saying was, there are 26 losses that I have.
Right.
26 losses. That's a lot. But on the realm of things, 59 and 26 is a really, really
You're
good
over
wagering.
80%. You're close to 80%, right?
Right.
Am I
And
right
it's
there?
not. I'm not going to sustain that, and I don't bet every day. I bet only certain games.
Not 80, but like closer to 70, 75%. Alec, how do you make you're a big FanDuel guy. How do you make your money gambling on baseball? Just help us out, but keep it. Remember, for people like me, talk to me like I'm stupid because number one, I am, but number two is I know so little, and I'm really wanting this tutorial. It's kind of what I wanted to do today, so we can kind of learn a little bit about how to try to make a little nut on a weekend ball game or series.
I'll be honest with you, I get all my information from Devin's Bookie on Twitter. I follow Discord. Every single bet he's won, he's placed, won me over, I want to say $6,000, almost $8,000.
You don't lose any with him at all?
I mean, there's always losing days. There's always red days. There's always green days. It's not always going to be, rainbows and butterflies. But the biggest one that I've had was when the Mets were playing. I think they were down like 7 runs.
So you're doing in-game gambling. They're down 7 in the fifth inning.
They have player props. They have baseball props, tennis props, MMA ones. But he'll have like live ones here and there. And he plays. He said like because we go by unit play. Like he always like follow the units, and then it kind of helps people instead of like throwing all their money into certain things.
Yeah,
helps them preserve bankroll.
But you know what? Hey, the thing is, though, Alec, I get it. See, this is a problem I have, and this is why we talk about this is because I want to be an educated gambler. I want to put the odds. Who doesn't in life? Anything in life, we want to put the odds in our favor. Don't smoke. Eat healthy. Put health in your favor. Invest your money. Don't spend like I do. Put your finances in your favor. But also, at the end of the day, does it remove you a little bit from it that, Harry, like when I'm talking with you gambling, I'll ask you a specific game or a move on a game. I see the money moving or the line moving, and I got more of a vested interest in that sport per se. I mean, you must watch them, or is it just you place a few, and you just track them a little bit as you go, Harry?
Well, there's a lot of metrics you have to go by. And Alex, by the way, nice talking to you again, buddy. It's been a long time to actually hearing your voice. But anyway, there's a lot of different metrics that I use and base my decisions to be able to make wagers. First off, you have to come to the mindset that you only have to gamble by what you physically see or bet by what someone else is seeing. Take the professional person, just like you're doing, Alex. You're following someone on Twitter, which is a great idea, and you're going to go to bed and sink and swim. But I can't ever stress enough, always bet responsibly. And always keep your bets low and make your returns high.
Hey, Harry, I can't help thinking. I'm sorry, but I'm going to lose a lot of followers. I'm going to lose a lot of watchers for that Hyman comment, aren't I?
That's all right. But Hyman or Anaheim, either one of the two.
Well, I know Hyman. He's a watchmaker across the street. I stopped in to see him this afternoon, and he was. So anyway, let's move it on, Alec. I just talked to Harry. You work. I know, Alec. Of course, you serve our country, and I always thank you for your service, not your cervix. That's 2 references. I'm sorry. I did that last weekend, didn't I? I'm sorry. But what are you going to try? You're going to have an eye on that. Where you're at. You're going to pull up the app on Wednesday and watch Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers smack talking, playing around a golf against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Sadly, no, Rick. I will be at work that day, so I will be not at home.
By the way, update, just real quick to let you know, the Rays are still down 1-0. It's the bottom of the 5th. They got 1 out, 2 outs, 1 on runner on first. And Jared Cole. But anyway,
Talking about scores, Ray, I ask you guys both a questions.
Please.
The Texas Rangers are at the Oakland Athletics. Before the game even starts, who do you think you'd like, the Rangers or the A's?
Well, if I'm going by the Harry the Greek method, obviously I like the home. Are they a home underdog? Yeah, they are because the A's.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you just underdogs. I'm going to give you some for instances. The Rangers were an underdog. It's the fourth inning right now. They're winning 4-1. You ready?
Right.
The New York Giants are at the worst team in baseball, which are the Cincinnati Reds. Here's a home underdog.
Wait, you mean the San Francisco Giants?
I'm sorry, that's right. The San Francisco Giants.
And they're at.
What a coincidence! I actually placed it. I actually placed a bet on that one.
Yep, they're at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a huge underdog. It's the fifth inning, and Cincinnati's winning 3-1.
Right.
The Nationals were a home underdog today, and they won 13-7. Okay.
Wow.
So these are all your underdogs. Today, the Royals were on the road at the Twins, another underdog, and a team that's been playing very well. They won 7-3. The Brewers at the Cardinals.
Wait. The Orioles
the
Twins?
The Royals won? The Royals won?
The Royals or was it Orioles?
No, the Royals.
Kansas City
Royals won 7-3.
I cashed that one then.
Yep. Cardinals are at home as a small underdog. They're winning 8-3. So what the point I'm trying to make is don't get too enamored.
Right.
With just because you have that star-studded pitcher on the mound. If you continue to play favorites, especially in baseball, I promise you, your bankroll will diminish to zero really quick.
Hey, let me try one thing. I appreciate that, brother. I got you. Mark Zuckerberg, you're a genius. Facebook is the most stable, awesome, best platform in the world. YouTube, you're locking it, knocking it down, locking it down. Twitter, I love you. What's the guy? Elon Musk. Sometimes I think that the afternoon algorithms, I think that sometimes on an afternoon when we go live, I mean, the views are there somewhat, but I think sometimes I think that these social media networks go, oh, it's that crazy Ray guy. And he's up to no good. So let's just let's not share that too much in the secret sauce. So I thought I'd try to give him some compliments. Let's work it back to the Bucs. Of course, the quote this week, Alex Umber, is Devin.
Wow, we just lost Ray, so I guess we can continue to talk. I think what he was talking about with Devin White, what do you think is going to happen with that situation? And I also see in a comment in here, by the way, Alec, that Ndamukong Suh, they were wanting to know if actually he was signed yet. Do you know if he was signed?
I haven't really seen anything because I've been at work all day, so I'm the less source of everybody in this chat.
What do you think is going to happen this year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Alec?
See,
do you like them to win a division?
I mean, I like them to win a division. From a bias standpoint as a fan, I could see them making it to NFC Championship because it's going to be no matter what in the NFC, it's going to be the only top teams in the NFC is LA and Tampa. So I'm not trusting my gut. It's only because I placed a bet on them. That's the reason why I don't want to jinx anything. I threw a quick $10 on them, but anything past that, I can see them being LA Rams versus the Bucs in the NFC Championship. But the winner, I can't really. I don't want to touch that one at all. That one itself just scares me.
Are you afraid of the New Orleans Saints at all this year in that division? Because I'm going to tell you what, the acquisitions that they made and the moves that they made, it's really scary, man, if you really think about it.
I mean, most years I would usually be scared of them, but just like 2 years ago, they also swept us like they usually do. Mm-hmm. But we always beat them. We beat them when it mattered. So,
I have to tell you, man, especially with the acquisition with having and I don't even like saying his name, Jameis Winston, who's the quarterback there. I'll tell you what, last year, before that kid got hurt, he was balling out. He was really picking up that system. I love the acquisitions that they made, especially in the wide receiver standpoint of things. And they made a couple of solid free agency signings, especially on the offensive line. This team could spell a lot of problems for Tampa Bay this year. Because the whole key, just as well as I do, Alec, they have to stay healthy. Okay?
Yeah.
You have the GOAT on one end. He's a year older. There's the uncertainty in who's playing tight end for this team. I mean, are they going to end up keeping Rob Gronkowski? I'm not even sure they signed him. I'm not even sure he's coming back. What's your thoughts?
On that one, I mean, most Bucs fans at this point, they're kind of just like they're already moved on past that. The draft showed it itself. Getting Cade Otton, you have, and then you have Cameron Brate as your tight end. I mean, as a Bucs fan, I'm not really worried if he doesn't come back or not. It's not really going to affect my standpoint on it because you always have it's always next man up mentality on that team, and they've won games when Gronkowski wasn't there. So if they can do it last year, they can do it this year.
Okay. And who do you think's going to be challenging the Buccaneers, would you say, from the other divisions when it gets into the playoff?
Ooh. Let me think.
Let's go through the divisions. Who do you like in the NFC least? I mean the East.
Oh, I have the Eagles winning that.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what a draft they had. I mean, and they didn't even draft them. When they picked up, it was like the wide receiver, the heavens and gods. They turned around and bestowed upon us and said, hey, we're going to get a lot. But, hey, look who's back. It's Mr. Ray Kennedy. How you doing?
What a coincidence. Right after I got done talking about all the platforms, did you guys, I'm not going to go back and it was a bad thought anyway, but where did I bop out on you guys?
I don't know. It was somewhere along the line. But what we were talking about,
it was Devin White, the Devin White thing.
It was about Devin White. But what we went to is I was asking Alec, what he thought about Tampa Bay's chances of winning the division. And, of course, he's being biased because we're on Bucs Report, and he's going to win a division. But what about the New Orleans Saints? And we both ascertained we both – I mean, I know what you're saying, Ray. They've made a lot of acquisitions. And I'll tell you what, Jameis stays healthy down there. He could spell problem for this team. But my question to Alec, and I'm going to ask you the same question, who do you like in the NFC least? Alec and I both agree that the Eagles are going to make a big splash this year, but do they really overthrown the Dallas Cowboys?
Here's the thing about Dallas. I was watching on NFL Network today the game replay from the game last year where they played. They took the Patriots to overtime, and Gregory had just this monster sack. Did an inside-out move, came around a corner, and it was a kind of hit on Mac Jones that would put Tom Brady into cold sweats in the middle of the night. Quinn is doing that defense, and I know I say Leach kaboom, and then he's in Atlanta, but the players love that cat. The Cowboys are putting together a pretty solid defense. The NFC, I just like what Sirianni, what he's doing in Philadelphia. And let's be honest, Philadelphia, other than making a wrong move between Wentz and Foles, they're only like 5 years removed from a Super Bowl team. And so it's like, I don't think Dallas is going to go into that week 1 game where the Buccaneers go and visit Dallas. And that's going to be their Super Bowl. They get to win against the Buccaneers in week 1. This is what they're telling their friends. It's not what I'm telling you guys girls here on Bucs Report. Dallas is telling their people, we get to win against the Bucs in week 1, unlike last year when they stayed close and they beat us at their place. We're on our way to winning the NFC at least. If the Bucs go in there and take care of the business as they should, Todd Bowles, this defense, Tom Brady, this offense, Chris Godwin back healthy. I know we've been saying Chris Godwin may not be back until I think Chris Godwin comes back ready for the start of the season. I know it was a bad hit, but you remember and the thing about the Saints that scare me, Harry, is the way Dennis Allen gets that defense to play. Last year, that defense, what they call it, Alec? You said last week it was Bounty Gate 2.0, right?
It was that.
I know,
for a fact, Bounty Gate 2.0. There's no ifs or buts about that one.
This defense is going to play for Dennis Allen. Yeah, but no, Harry. So all great conversation pieces, but nobody's making any comments on this. How come nobody? Are we the only ones in here to have opinions?
I guess so. I'm going to tell you one thing, Ray. Please. The New Orleans Saints, I really thought were going to, pardon the expression, shit the bed last year. Okay, I really did, and that team was really, really playing lights out when Jameis was in there. Let me tell you something. You can love him or hate him. We can always make fun of him being part of the 30-30 club. That man's going to be playing for a contract. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Yes,
he has, and he has the wide receiver set. He's getting the slant master to come back. That's not like that's something.
Can we agree on one thing, though? That cat has the worst. The whole thing with the relatives in a line with pillows, and he's in the backyard trying to throw at throwing a target. He's got some of the weirdest warm-up drills, but other than that, the guy's got one of the top 10, if not top 5 arms in the league. I truly believe that.
He does, but he doesn't like to throw a short pass. But I'm telling you, something has clicked with this young man that he's learned. And you know something else I noticed about him? When he was in Tampa, he had no backside presence whatsoever. He couldn't feel anything coming off the left side.
And Donovan Smith took the heat for that, but really
yes,
Jameis was holding on to that ball too much because he was still, even
Correct.
5 years in the league, he never got to learn how to read that defense. Sean Payton taught that kid how to read a defense the last couple of years.
And there's something else that he had in Tampa that he has completely lost. Number one, you can always teach an old dog new tricks. He had a hitch in his delivery. When the ball was coming back, right, when the ball came back, it was down here and then a release to come up. Instead of bang, bang, that's gone. That hitch has been gone now since last year. That's something I wanted to point out because those are some of the things that I break down when I'm watching film. And I'll tell you another quarterback that has that hitch in his throw. That's Mr. Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. I'll tell you what, in the NFL, that extra 1/10 of a second can mean an interception or a ball coming out of there. But what I was trying to say was this is what makes Jameis Winston scary. If, in fact, he has really improved his footwork and picked up a little bit more of his blind side to be able to release the ball quicker, that's going to make a hell of a difference. I'm telling you right now.
Let me ask you this.
Don't sleep on this New Orleans team. It's scary.
But Alec, how much, and I like what you're saying, but how much of that does Alex Kamara, does he come in, is his head on straight? Because we know what that kid means to the passing game out of the backfield and what he means as a veteran presence in that Saints backfield as a running back. But, we know about he punched that guy out at the Pro Bowl in Vegas this season. Haven't heard anything about that, but you think it doesn't all of the over-the-top success for the Saints, doesn't it feel like it's predicated upon them having an Alex Kamara with his head on straight in 2022 there, Alec?
I see that he I can't really say anything barring any league news with him on suspension because no one's really heard anything since that day. We heard more Deshaun Watson than we heard Alvin Kamara in the last I don't know how many months.
Yeah. But, is there a team out there that's going to go ahead and sign Antonio Brown so he gets that ankle fix, comes back and plays his 73rd season there, Harry?
Hey, listen, man, teams can't help it. They're enamored with Antonio Brown, okay?
I heard a story.
There's going to be teams out there that are going to be interested in him. If they are, just do me a favor. They need to fire the head coach, the general manager, the vice president of operation, and every single person that's involved with that group. Because I'm telling you what, the guy's an absolute cancer. This guy's 20 times worse than Brandon Marshall ever was.
Oh, Harry. Now, let me ask you this. I asked James Canada, former Buccaneer defensive lineman, former Indianapolis Colt, current host of the Big Game Sports Buzz, and chopping it up on Tuesday nights on the Chop Shop. I asked him the other night, we were talking about Deshaun Watson. Harry, it's going to be a suspension, without a doubt. I don't know if it's commissioner's exempt or what, but they gave Deshaun Watson that $300 billion contract, but they're only paying him $17.53 the 2022 season. So no matter how long that suspension is, don't worry. He still takes care of his corn. But what kind of a suspension do you think Deshaun Watson's looking at? And in the end run, though, is the Cleveland Browns going to be able to, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt with that running game, are they going to be able to justify bringing Deshaun Watson in and trying to continue having that success, Harry?
You know what? Again, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to politicize the show, but when Tim Anderson of Chicago White Sox got called Jackie, okay, he ended up with a 1-game suspension. Okay, 1 game. Now there's 20 plus allegations and different charges that were pending against Deshaun Watson that for some reason mysteriously left. Okay, and they got dropped. But the problem was there is a conduct clause in the National Football League. Okay.
Yes.
It's there could be a mistake with 1 or 2 accusations, but 20 of them, I really sincerely doubt it. I'm not going to give my opinion on what I think. No, I am going to give my opinion what I think should happen. I don't think the guy should ever play another down in the National Football League if the accusations are true. If they're true, Ray. But they have to prove that first. And I don't think he should be able to play until they prove it otherwise.
Yeah, because let's remember, guys and girls, there's 2 sides. There's 2 camps on this. You know what? It's a slow news cycle. It's Memorial Day weekend. Again, please share your comments. What is Memorial Day? I already shared it, Harry. It's a young one of those amphibious vehicles landing on Normandy Beach or landing on in France, going up against the Nazis and D-Day, knowing that the moment that gate went down, hellfire was going to rain down upon them from in front of them, behind them, over top of them, from the batteries up top of the hill. My father-in-law and his brothers, the Gavins, were able to travel over there, and they did the entire, visiting the areas over there, visiting the pillboxes and stuff like that. That's what Memorial Day. Now we associate it with the first weekend of summer. It's big barbecue, big series with the Yankees in town for 4 games. But that's what Memorial Day. That's what I think. All those who served and gave in service of our country. The holiday was started in 1869 by I think it was a Confederate lieutenant or colonel as a recognition of all the graves and all the young men that gave women that gave their lives during the Civil War, and it carries on through 2022. What does it mean to you, Harry? What does Memorial Day mean to you?
Coming from a military family, and I lost my father 10 years ago on April Fool's Day, and my brother Bill, who retired from the United States Army, and a lot of my friends and the people, my hat's off to the people from the VA that are right here in St. Pete that come to visit my shop and Harry the Greek over at Tires Plus at Tyrone Mall.
Yes.
That's what it means to me. It means to make sure we're taking care of our service members, the ones that are currently alive, okay? Because we can always remember the dead. Please never forget them. But we have to take care of our service members that are currently here, who have fought for this country, who have fought for platforms where we're able to speak like this, to be able to go to a football game, to be able to go to church, to be able to worship whatever you want, whether you want a gun or you don't want a gun. Those are the people that make it for this country. And that's what Memorial Day means for me. Not just for the dead, but for the living.
Oh, thank you, Harry the Greek. Now, what about you, Mr. Alex Schomburg? You serve our country. Tell me about Memorial Day as a military member. What does it mean to you? How do you celebrate it? I mean, I say you use the word celebrate a little loosely, right? Because it is a somber occasion. It's a time for us to recognize. Although we have associated them these days with first day of summer, and we don't want it to be all. Try to make it a good remembrance, but yet at the same time, it is a somber remembrance type of holiday. How does Alex Schomburg? How do you recognize Memorial Day?
I mean, as of late, it's more of like a more tougher time because I had 2 friends that recently passed away from a deployment, so
it's
kind of like it wasn't really like, because Memorial Day is like it's remembrance, but you don't really feel it until you know that same thing happened to you where you lose a former person that you served with. So it's kind of like a sad Remembrance Day for me. But like Harry said, it's you gotta appreciate, take care of the ones that are currently, and also because just like recently there's suicides left and right. No one's really they try to keep it all inside. So
we were talking about that. Especially during Mental Health Awareness Month. Alec, I want to continue on this, but let me go back. Harry the Greek, I got to get Harry out of here. Of course, let me just bring him on real quick on a full screen. 1252 Sports. Harry the Greek, the over/under. Tell us about you, Harry.
Hey man, Ray, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a little bit of a while. You want some really good picks? Do me a favor. Go ahead and tune in to the over/under. I'm on 1252 Sports. It's Friday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Central. But you know what, Ray? We have a segment. We have a segment called Prison Break Hot Take.
Prison Break Hot Take. But
jailbreaks are for the
jailbreak hot take.
No, the jailbreaks are for the babies. The prisons are the big boys. Alec, if you haven't got what it is I take calls from different Department of Corrections, either throughout the state of Florida or throughout the country, and I kind of give them a platform to be able to talk about sports. If we have a little,
these guys they're serving out their sentences. They actually are proving time that these characters are rehabilitating. The ones that the other cats serving 17 years. They have the time to follow the sports, and they're very educated on it, which makes for. But then you also mix it with you tell them a little bit about what's going on in prison that day. Was there a big fight?
And you know what? If you missed the last show, someone actually told me that they won 16 soups in the course of 1 week. So just to let you know, I've been doing some good. He won 16 soups. That's a lot in prison.
That's a lot, brother. Hey, I appreciate you, Harry.
Thank you so much for having me on, Alec. Go ahead, Ray.
Where are you and Jamie going to dinner?
Actually, I'm thinking about going down to the Deck Bar and Grill with my mother earlier because we're thinking about going to get some peel and eats down there. But I'm not sure yet. I'm up to suggestions.
I just want you to bring me a doggy bag, brother. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Alec, nice talking to you. Ray, have a great one. Thank you so much for having me on, brother.
Thank you, brother. You know what? Thanks again. You guys, you and Harry were able to, I had to exit there right after I got done talking about social media platforms. All of a sudden, mysteriously there, Alec, poof, I'm gone. Had to restart the computer, use my phone as a hotspot. But so you were saying, about you're able to encompass not just I use the mental health awareness aspect, but the so many challenges our armed service, our militaries, because not only do we deploy and send over and completely defend this country and to be in the incredible pressure cooker that is being overseas or deployed. But then it's like, hey, when you guys get back here, we still expect you to have to, and even in some cases while you're still over there with your family, we still expect you to deal with making a mortgage payment, having the insurance, making sure you have money in the bank, making sure you're ready for a small little doctor thing where someone might have to go in and just see a doctor because their laryngitis or their tonsils are hurting them. So you talk about an extra burden that's put on our military. I definitely agree with the fact that a Memorial Day weekend, even though we're putting recognition on all those gravestones, those who some gave all gave some, but some gave all. Also, the people that are still around here that have been through it with their comrades, their brothers and sisters in arms, and they continue to see it moving forward.
What was the question?
I don't think there was one. I'm just saying, I got you. It must have.
I was trying to hear the question, and I was like, wait a second, how did you hear the question?
Crap. Sorry, bro. So let's see. Okay, the Rays just tied the game. That's what all that cheering was for. That's what maybe you got lost there. The Rays just had a hit. They just tied the game at 1 in the 6th inning. Oh, it was an easy pop fly, and end up the second baseman came out. The center fielder didn't come in on it properly, and it fell to the ground. So love it, brother. So I'll go ahead and share my thing about Deshaun Watson with you. I think it's 8 games. And I think that you gotta include the preseason games. I just think that they let him go to preseason, maybe even because the NFL will be like, well, unless they just don't want him to show up in a uniform, we'll let you do the preseason so you get a little flow. But then you're sitting out there because again, it's unproven, substantiated, especially if the law, especially if the law enforcement, especially as the courts say that as of July they'll just put all the litigation off until after the football season. I think the NFL still give the Browns a shot. Say, look, and don't forget it's a 17-game season, so they'll still have 9 games with Deshaun. I think he gets to 8 games, and if the Browns are able to get through those 8 games at 4-4, then they're still in playoff contention for the AFC North there as Deshaun comes back. I mean, 8 games seems about right. No, Alec?
Yeah, that's what me when we were talking about it on the NFL edition, that's what me and Johnny agreed on. Right. Probably 8 games on that end.
Yeah, about 8 games. Because it's just, if it was once, twice, 3 times a late, if it was like something where it was like a Ben Roethlisberger incident that kind of, there was a little more evidence at that point. There was some people that had seen some things happen and all, and the cops were called. But when you see it over and over and over again to the tune of 22 accusations now the NFL, I believe they have to take it to an escalated level. It's not just a four gamer. It's not just what I think it's just a solid half a season. I think everybody gets equal because of the contract that Deshaun Watson signs that the Cleveland Browns offer him. He doesn't really lose a whole lot of money. I'd still like to see as part of his settlement, he give money back to not only those young ladies, the 22 of them that have litigation, or at least somehow maybe set up a fund, but also to put money towards some of that big $1 trillion contract you just signed with the Browns. You want to, make amends, make reparations, put money towards abuse shelters or sexual abuse lines, and so that we can continue to put that out there. And also kind of waxes in with May being Mental Health Awareness Month as we're getting near the end of it here with the first week of June next week. So people can have that solace, and they have another avenue when they're in a corner. They feel like the world's not on their side, or nobody's listening to them. They have another channel to go through. You agree with that, Alec?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's more,
all right, brother.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I appreciate you. Hey, let me ask you about. We talked a little bit last weekend about it. The schedule, right? What are your thoughts on the schedule, the 2022 schedule, opening up opening up against the Cowboys on the road this season as opposed to last season when we had the Thursday night opener and they came in here? You feel just as comfortable about that game? Do you feel a little bit up in the air about it? Dan Quinn getting a second year to get that defensive line and Dak already shown that he's back from that ankle, or is that just we feel the same way we do? The Bucs are just going to take care of business.
I mean, before this, we had Brady retired.
Right.
I was a little bit. Then again, we didn't have the schedule until Tom Brady came back. So,
right.
If we didn't have him, I would feel a little bit unconfident. But since over the years, as Johnny always likes to bash me on about the NFC Championship where I left early, you never have to go any time, place in the world on that. So I want to say I feel confident, but not too confident on that one. You can never downplay your opponents like we do every other season.
Then, of course, where do the Bucs go in week 2? They go right into the Louisiana, going up against those New Orleans Saints, getting some of that home cooking in the Cajun Bayou.
While I have you on the before I
No one on the Saints?
No, I will say that. I will say like before I hop off and drive home. So because
Oh,
you're probably
brothers,
gonna be off. You're probably gonna be off the show by the time I get home.
Yes.
But I proposed you that offer. You gotta let me know how you feel about it.
Oh, I will, brother. I appreciate that. I just big commitment, so I want to make sure everything's right before I say anything. But I appreciate that. We'll
But
keep that one in the bag. Yeah.
I'll definitely make plans with you when I go out there in Florida in July.
Hell yeah, brother. I appreciate you coming in here, Alec. Be careful driving and get with me a little bit. Well, I mean, be careful heading home, and I'll talk with you later. If I'm still around, come on in, and I'd love to talk with you. All right, brother.
All right. If anything, I'll just talk to you in the group chat.
Where can everybody find you, Mr. Alex Schomburg?
You can find me on Thursdays at 10 o'clock on the NFL Edition with Johnny Dean, Ben Cornett, and Alex Loosemore on Thursday nights on Bucs Report.
Is that your Velcro wallet? You're just
No, it's my uniform. No, it's my uniform.
Okay. I'm like, you don't have to pay me, bro. It's a pleasure to have you on here, Alex. Take care, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, Ray.
All right, bro. So yeah, the shot's looking. See, I was a little weird. I had this shot in my mind, the corner of this bar where it comes to that. Now, if I'd have came in here, I was here at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:33 before the 4 o'clock start across the street between the Rays and the Yankees. There was nothing here, and in about another 45 minutes, it's the 7th inning. The game's tied at 1-1 there. The Yankees are up to bat at the top of the 7th. And about another 35 minutes, there's not going to be any place around here. It's going to be crazy because that's how it is down here at the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill out here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg. Got the Jolly Trolley coming by here. Don't forget, this is on Central now. First Avenue South, they're going to have the Sun Runner Transportation. As you see the Jolly Trolley head down going by. From the beaches to the bay, and then back up First Avenue North from the bay back to the beaches. 17 minutes from downtown to water, looking at the new $90 million pier or the Dolly Museum. 17 minutes later, you're putting your toes in the sand, walking into the water's edge behind a trade winds there on St. Pete Beach. That's what's going on down here in St. Petersburg. That's the kind of excitement you have every year in a year on a Saturday. That's why we're down here with the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, bringing it to you every Saturday from the Pee-wees preps to the pros, having all of our schools down here. We had last week we had a baseball Hollins High baseball coach on there. The week before that we had the entire Boca Ciega football team. But I'm going to go ahead and give me a second here to do a shout out. How to get a gift for a friend? How to get a birthday gift for a good friend? So I was looking for a smoke shop all in the area, and I'm like, there's just so many. You go on a Google and there's one here, one here, one here. So went to one that was by my house, and it's right up on Seminole Boulevard, literally about 95th Avenue, just about 5 blocks north of Park Boulevard there on Seminole Boulevard on the west side. It's called Puff and Joint Smoke Shop. Kid, I just loving this place in there. Lance is the owner in there. Got a chance to go in there today. Got that gift. Talking to his parents. His dad was in there, lifelong Buccaneer fan. Loved it. Loved the fact that he said that he'd actually heard of Cup of Ray on the radio. So I told him I'm going to do a shout out. I said, love to have you guys come on board as a sponsor. We've got quite a few sponsors kind of looking at us for the 2022 Buccaneers NFL season. And I told you guys, I'm never going to sell anything I don't believe in. And from the moment I walked into Puff and Joint Smoke Shop there on Seminole Boulevard today, don't forget it. If you want to call them, it's F727-803-6794. Clean. Smell was nice. Maybe kind of what you expect for a smoke shop. Just a real nice, aromatic, nice little. My wife always kids me because one of my favorite patchouli is one of my favorite smells in the entire world. A little bit of smell, but not like a smoky kind of. Just a little bit of a smell in the air. Very clean. Great inventory, stocked up on a bunch of things. And if you're going out to the beach and you need to stop by a smoke shop, you could go. You stop right here. You go north on Seminole Boulevard about 6-7 blocks. You go into Puff and Joint Smoke Shop. You get whatever you need to get. You get back on Park Boulevard. You're out on the beaches in less than 3 minutes in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, with those toes wiggling in the sand. So go ahead and talk to the Lance and the owners at Puff and Joint Smoke Shop for all of your smoke shop needs. 727-803-6794. Love it. Great people. They gave me. I'm sure my friend's going to have one heck of a birthday this year with the gift I got him at the Puff and Joint Smoke Shop. Still 1-1. I was hoping to have a little bit more news on this game, but just wanted to talk again about the fact that I'm definitely not going to be able to miss it. I mean, I'm working, so I'm going to DVR it. Got to watch Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen there on Wednesday playing a round of golf. Hate that it's on a Wednesday, but probably just as well because you can tape that and watch it, and I'll enjoy watching it. Stopping it, fast forward, go back, whatever. But you throw it on a weekend, it's 3 hour. Of course, the match back in 2020. Guys and girls, you remember that. Tom was playing down there in Miami, and we had one of those weekends, especially if you're in the state of Florida, where there was just rain everywhere. It was just, we were engulfed with that tropical stuff. As you start to get the unofficial first weekend of summer, which is the Memorial Day weekend holiday. But Tom played down there, and they had the rain. Of course, Buccaneer fans, it was just like less than 2 months after, in the middle of a pandemic, that Tom Brady just signed on to become the Buccaneers quarterback. And you're like, just easy, Tom. Just take it easy. Just, and of course, good story there. Charles Barkley gets to the parking lot, even in the rain down there in Miami, and he sees Tom Brady running wind sprints in the parking lot, which I don't know. That's great. It's great. It's just the kind of cat he is, probably drinking that shake while he's running that TB12 brand. Charles Barkley says, "What are you doing, Tom Brady?" He says, "I am working on winning a championship." And of course, the Buccaneers did go on to win that championship, Super Bowl 55. No comments, but Alex shows up in here, I guess, because of that Lightning shirt saying "Go Lightning." Alex Number, I really appreciate you. Again, I know it's going to be a weird time on a Saturday, but I had to wait for the Rays game to get going, and now I'm going to have to get off before the Rays and Yankees game gets over here, because it's going to get crazy down here from world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. This Cup of Ray brought to you by Footage Brown Productions. Footage Brown Productions, the best wedding videography business, bar none, in anywhere, not only in West Central Florida, but I go as far as to say the entire southeastern United States. Someone having a special day, maybe your son or daughter, maybe friends of a son and daughter of a friend, maybe it's someone upstairs and further up in the family. Footage Brown Productions, the best wedding videography company in all of Florida. And they, call them today for a little bit of a consultation. Just see what they have, the packages, what they're offering, and the dates they're available. You won't regret it. That's Footage Brown Productions. So, wanted to talk Bandits lose today. Jersey Generals. God, Jersey Generals. Remember back in the 80s, Jersey was owned by Donald Trump. And, funny thing was about then is when you saw them, even I remember, I'm 16, 15 years old, 16. And I remember that they were scaling too fast. But that was just the kind of cat that Donald Trump was as an owner, as a Jersey General, as the owning the USFL Jersey Generals. He took them salaries. They scaled up way too fast. They could not compete with what they were trying to do. And, that ended up being a downfall of the USFL. They tried like they would. They kind of went out and trying to get the NFL to come around and be interested in them, and the NFL's like, no, that's a train wreck. Not like 2021 or 2022 and then 2023 with the XFL, or the NFL is getting him on board, getting in cahoots, or, the officials are developing in the USFL. You see it every game as you watch a game. And then the players are also using the XFL as a developmental league next year with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So good stuff right there. But you remember Donald Trump, you were kind of, even though the Bandits were our team, the Tampa Bay Bandits, you're kind of like, hey, I like him signing these big contracts. We liked the Jim Kelly slap flash. We liked Bruce Smith. We love seeing Doug Williams after he doesn't get the contract here in Tampa Bay. But we like seeing those players playing in the USFL. Herschel Walker with the Jersey Generals, I believe it was. Wow, that's the third Herschel Walker reference I've had this weekend. And Herschel Walker is also running for office, which I don't get that at all. Not that I don't think that Herschel Walker, not saying that Cat couldn't be but from what I can gather, he's completely disattached from his entire campaign. But I don't know. That's just how politics is. I'm not going to get into politics here on a Saturday. A little Memorial Day Cup of Ray down here at the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill out here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg. That is the world-famous Ferg. Got that. Hope you guys saw my Facebook post earlier. I have that, one guy's out there playing. What song was he? Don't like feel like dying. Girl, was that Creed? That he's doing that song out there. Heaven, let the light shine down. Guys, this show just devolved so badly, but got the big screen out back there, and I love it when you're back out there. You go a little bit up on the riser, and you've got a view of Tropicana Field, which is that's what St. Pete. So the Rays just got the third out. Now they're going to the bottom of the eighth, still tied at 1-1. Let me make sure. Still tied at 1-1. This game is, and that's the way the first two games in this 4-game series has gone. They've been back and forth, mostly back for the Rays with the Yankees going fourth, but winning the 2 wins. But it hasn't been like there's been a huge scoring fest. The game 2 nights ago, the Rays right up to the 15, they were in it, and then the stuff just fell apart. And yesterday, the Yankees got a 2-0 lead early and held on. So good stuff right here. Take that off there. Get that off, and. Again, it's starting to pick up a little bit out here, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of the flavor, the smell of the You smell the food. You smell like wings in the air and the burgers frying and they're getting ready. People are ready to go online. If you sit down in one of these spots out here, you go online and do your order, or you can do it as you're getting here. Just make sure you got a place that you scan a QR code to let them know where you're at. People are already probably calling in their orders from the Rays Yankees game. This place is going to be crazy out here. So if you're out and about on a Saturday down here in the beautiful St. Petersburg area, I suggest you come by Ferg's. Check it out. It's so fantastic. Why does that keep showing? Wait. Why do I keep doing that? Yeah, we got it, StreamYard. All right. Thank you. We appreciate you letting us know that. You're such an idiot. Oh, it's because I got comments going. All right. Well, that's going to be it for a Cup of Ray down on Saturday. I am going to get home and get a cold one and get in the pool. Hope I didn't offend anybody on this show. If I did, I'm apologizing ahead of time. It was definitely all Harry the Greek's fault. See you guys soon here on a Cup of Ray on Bucs Report. Happy Memorial Day weekend, although it feels weird saying that since we covered a Memorial Day and the type of holiday it is. But still, every day should be happy because you all remember how I end every one of these things. Everyone needs to know someone cares. This Memorial Day weekend, you be the one who reaches out and lets them know that you do. Love you guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon here on Cup of Ray on Bucs Report.